Hi guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here for a bit more of a play with my Christmas journal. I did say that I didn't know whether I was going to do the Christmas journal, you know, together with you guys, or whether I would do quite a lot of it on my own. So I have done quite a few bits, and I thought that I would come back and we'd start putting some into the journal. So I'm going to make a ring bound journal for this Christmas one. I've picked the ring bound journal because I know I've said this like tons of times before, but I really love the freedom that a ring bound journal gives you. And I feel that I can be a lot more kind of flamboyant with my, you know, embellishment pieces and what have you. And because I want to have lots of, you know, bows and maybe some flowers and things like that, you know, I want to be able to go quite chunky should I need to. I mean, it may turn out that it's not going to be chunky at all, but I want to just have that freedom. And I just feel that actually doing a ring bound journal just gives me that, really. So here I have got one of those Charlotte Peterson belly bands, and we did these in a mass make. And what I've done is I've just made, very similar to what we did in the mass make, but I have made this with my green food coloured papers. I'm just going to cut the threads off because otherwise when I tuck things into this belly band they'll get caught on the threads. So what I've done is I've taken some of my green food coloured papers, and then I've just layered up some white lace and then just, you know, small touch of blue. And then what I'm using for my base of my pages here for my ring bound journal is just some of the background pages from my kit. And I chose just the plain ones, and in the kit there's two kind of plainer ones. There's the pink with the green around the edge, and then there's also the blue with the pink around the edge. So I'm going to kind of, you know, intermix them a little bit. But I thought that this belly band just looks so pretty on this paper. So that's where I'm going to actually start, I think, with making my journal. So all I've done is, you know, as usual, if you've seen me do ring bound journals before, I like to just fold them and, you know, create a good thick sort of layer for my, you know, my foundation of my page. So all I'm going to do is check that I've got the, you know, the outer edge of the fold, if you see what I mean. So the two separate sheets where they've met together are on the inside of the journal. And then I'm just going to take my belly band and check how it looks. Now, obviously with these belly bands, and I did say this in the mass make, you know, I cut this down because at the point where I made this, I hadn't decided to do a ring bound journal. So I had cut this down so that on a conventional journal, it wouldn't like go into the fold and interfere with the actual kind of spine of the journal. But because obviously I'm doing a ring bound journal, that's no longer a, you know, an issue or a worry. But that's fine, because when I glue this on, what I'm going to do is take some of my pieces from the kit and layer them up onto the belly band, if you see what I mean. So I can always go over this where it's not now quite meeting the edge of my page. I can put something over there. I mean, this side it doesn't even show because actually I've got lace overhanging. So it's not even a problem on that side. It's only an issue kind of on this side. I'm actually going to turn this upside, or, you know, up the other way, because I'm going to start with, no, yeah, I had it right the first time round, I think. Did I have that right? No. Right. So this is my inside of my pages, is it? No. Oh, honestly. Right, this is my inside. And the inside I want to have with the inside of the belly band, if you see what I mean. So this is going to be the punched section. I hope this makes sense. It's not making sense to me, clearly, but hopefully it makes sense to somebody out there who's maybe watching. And I'm just going to have a look through my papers now from the kit. I've obviously got lots of them, you know, ready here to use. And most of these are just printed on, you know, regular copy paper. And I'm just going to bring them in so that I've got a few that I can just do some details in the background of this page. So I just bring in, I mean, like this page here, I've got obviously the tags and things, but I could tear that down. I mean, on the other side, I've also got some other bits and pieces. So let's just tear this down. You know, this might look okay. It might look rubbish. We'll just, you know, have a look. But I want to have some, you know, decorative detail going on in the background as well. So just tear that down a little bit more. I mean, obviously, you know, it's a bit of a shame because I'm cutting off half of those trees, so I might decide not to go with that one. Let's try this one. I mean, these really were just the prints that I was using when I was making the kit, so, you know, I'm not too worried. Although it feels like I'm being extravagant, I'm not really, because these were just my kind of rough prints when I was trying to kind of make up the kit. So, yeah, I'm not kind of too worried, really. Right, I'm now actually thinking this is a little bit of a small piece to have on here, and it maybe looks a little bit kind of insignificant and, you know, a bit measly on there. So let's just have a play around, because maybe I will actually find it easier to, you know, put a couple of pieces on the belly band first and then come back to the page itself to kind of find what's going to go on the page. Don't you just love those Christmas trees? They're just so pretty, aren't they? So, let's just have a look. And I've got those gorgeous flowers that we had used a little bit earlier when we were kind of making some of the embellishment pieces. So I don't want to cover up the belly band, you know, the lace completely. I just want to have kind of a couple of decorative pieces, you know, stuck on here. So not sure. Oh, I can't decide now. This was all going so well until I turned the camera on, because I'd obviously made quite a lot of pieces and things. And then the second that I turn the camera on, it all just goes out the window, and then I'm stumped. And yeah, wondering where to start. So it's always the way, isn't it? And the other thing is, I haven't quite decided what colour ruffles and things I'm going to have on this journal just yet. So I'm going to obviously need to, you know, have a look through, see what I've got. I quite like these two, I think, on there. I think they look quite pretty. So now I just need to find possibly a wider piece to have in the background of here, because I just thought that other piece looked quite skinny. So I'm just having a look to see what I've got. And that's one of the blue pages, so it would probably be better if it was one of the pink and green. Okay, so I've got some of these that I was playing around with whilst I was making the kit. So this is very faded out, and you know, it's been changed now for the kit, but let's just try that on there, because all I'm trying to do is really get sort of some layering really going on there in the background. And actually that's quite nice, because it's just got that touch of blue that brings in the blue from the lace there, so that's quite nice. And then at the bottom, I mean, I guess I could go for the bottom of the piece itself, so let's just have a look. Oops. So I hope everyone's having a good day. Are you getting prepared for Christmas? Have you got some Christmas projects on the go? Are you like me and kind of struggling to get into it? It just doesn't feel like it should be Christmas yet, so I'm struggling quite a lot to actually, yeah, get in the mood for, well, not get in the mood, but just get in the Christmas zone. It just feels way too soon for me. So I'm really struggling. I'm sure I can't be the only person, but I do see everyone else doing their projects, and, you know, everything's looking wonderful, and it's like it's all coming together really easily and well. So that just makes me wonder whether I am the only person struggling. I don't know. Right, I have also got this paper, which again, this has got some printing on the back, so it's good to, you know, be able to use this a bit, really. So just going to check whether I might prefer something bigger. I think I probably would. Something more like that. Okay. And then what would we have at the top? Let's have a look. I don't know what to have at the top, to be honest. I mean, we could just have a label or something. So let me glue this piece down. And then we've at least made some sort of commitment to the page, whereas otherwise, you know, I feel like I'm just constantly moving things around. So it's good to get something stuck on there. I know I always say this, but I repeat myself constantly because I'm aware that, you know, sometimes it might be somebody's first time of watching my channel and, you know, they may not be familiar with my methods. So that's why I'm always repeating myself. But I do apologise for those people who do watch regularly because, my gosh, it must be boring listening to me saying the same things over and over again. Right, we've got that gorgeous bow, which maybe even have there, to be honest. I'm going to have that pink flower. Right, let's get this down. So I'm going to actually stick this with my hot glue. Again, because I can get some texture going on by just making it quite lumpy and not pressing it too hard. Then that makes it kind of slightly raised on here rather than just a completely flat piece. So I'm not pressing it too hard, just kind of trying to keep it a little bit on the lumpy side. Like that. Okay. Now I'm just going to quickly have a look and see what colour fabric ruffles I might have in my stash ready done. I mean, obviously I can make some more, although I'm not quite sure what fabric I've really got that was, you know, is going to go too well with this anyway. So I've got some of these gorgeous, they're red-ish, they're not kind of a bright red, they're sort of a more muted red. I've got this green, which is really pretty. Just having a look to see what else I've got. I've got some other green. I've got some white. So I'm just digging out anything at all that I think might look quite nice with this because, you know, sometimes it's not until you get the ruffles on and things like that that it starts really, you know, feeling like it's coming together. So, okay, so that's those. Just seeing whether I've got another one in my jar. So this is just my little jar of ruffles, and I've got actually, well, I've actually got like 2.5 of these jars now. So I'm just going to now put this back and just grab the other one in and see whether I've got any others that are vaguely going to go with this. So this one seems much fuller. The worst of it is I've got all these ruffles and, you know, like usual, everything but the colour that we want. So it's just always the way, isn't it? So I've got that green. I have got some bright red here as well. I really like that sort of more muted red, to be honest. It's very sweet. But I'm not sure whether I've actually got any more of that fabric. I probably have somewhere, maybe downstairs, because I've got a cupboard in the hall which is also overflowing with fabrics and things. So it could be that I've got some more of that in the hall, but I'm not too sure, which is a bit of a shame because, you know, it's really, really, really nice colour. It's, you know, just off of that bright red. Right, let's have a look. So I'm definitely wanting a ruffle somewhere here. So we could have this gorgeous green, or we could just have like some ruffle here in the corner. So if that bow's kind of on there like that. We could have the bright red. Feels a bit too bright for me. You know, it might be suitable for another page, but not for this one, I think. And then we've got this gorgeous colour, which it's just so pretty. I'm being stingy because of course I'm trying to now think how I can make the most of this so as I have a little bit of ruffle left for something else. Or I've got that colour green. Don't think that's the right colour. Okay, so I have a shorter piece of ruffle here. So could use that. So I'm just going to snip those threads off so that it's a bit less hanging around. Okay, and I've got some white lace, which I thought I could have kind of just hanging off. So if we were to have this here, I could just have some lace kind of going around it. It's a little bit on the long side, but let's just cut that around. Okay. We might have to trim that in a bit, or glue it slightly ruffled. Oh, I'm not sure that's working really quite how I had hoped. I mean, I love that ticket maybe up there, or even down there actually is kind of cute, isn't it? Do you know, I think I'm going to stick the belly band on, because again, then I've kind of made a commitment to the page. So I'm just going to glue it down here and this side as well, like that. It's slightly lower than halfway, you can probably see, but that's fine. I'm not sort of too fussed whether it's in the middle or not in the middle. Okay, and I'm going to just stick this little bow. I probably want it here-ish, because if I put it over here and then I do end up putting a ruffle down the page, of course then I would lose it altogether. So, I mean, just before I decide, actually, there is a possibility we could have a ruffle, I guess, on the belly band itself. So that's just really strange. Yeah, it's probably a bit strange, isn't it? Perhaps we'll have it here. Don't know whether that's the right colour, because there's something not really, I'm not feeling that for some reason. Sometimes you just can't quite anticipate what's going to really work, can you? Until you start playing around and sticking things down. I think I do quite like that up there somewhere. Oh, that's kind of cute actually, to have like a ruffle at the top. I don't very often put ruffles at the top. No idea why. Just don't. But that looks kind of cute, to be fair. And the other thing that I've got is I think I've got some other bits hand stitched in this fabric. So just going into my cupboard beside me, where I've got some of my hand stitched ruffles and flowers that we did in a mass make. So I have got that little flower, or I've got these. They're slightly different fabric, but they're very, very similar colour. I'm thinking that's kind of cute. I mean, it looks very kind of, what's the word? I don't know, Little Miss Riding Hood. This reminds me of, for some reason, this page. It's got a feel of Little Miss Riding Hood, is that? No, Little Red Riding Hood. Oh, I can't even think of the name of things. What is going on? Yeah, so I like how that looks, I think. The only thing is, if I put it there, I can't have it as a pocket because, of course, you can't really get to it. Well, that's okay. I don't really mind too much. So let's just pop this down. Yeah, I don't know why I don't really ever put ruffles at the top, to be honest. But they don't very often work, I think, at the top. And again, I've not put that in the centre. I've just kind of put it slightly over. Not right over to the right, but just, slightly over. And then I'm just going to have this here. Oh, it's a bit of a shame because I'm going to use that whole of that fabric. Let me just check that I couldn't get away with the green instead. The green is nice. Let me check the brighter red. No, definitely it's got to be this one, and it's such a shame because I just know that, you know, this is the one that I'm going to want to use everywhere. I'm going to have to look downstairs when I go down and see if I've got any more of this fabric, and if I have, make a whole bunch more ruffles with it. But yeah, I don't know whether I have or not. It's only super cheap. It's not kind of anything special, but it's just this really pretty colour. Okay, so I'm going to just have this across here. So let's just glue that down like that. Okie dokie. Okay, just press that down like that. Okay, and then just trim that down at the, whoops, at the edge. Oh gosh, come on. Had all sorts of things hanging off of my scissors. My desk's so messy because I've got lots of things, you know, in the making. It's so messy. I mean, so much for my Tidy Fridays. I mean, thankfully the mess is all only on my desk. It's not all over the room where, you know, it was previously, but yeah, it's definitely very, very messy. So I'm not really kind of making a good, you know, advert for my Tidy Fridays today, I must say. Oh, that's cute, isn't it? So I'm going to have another 3 of these. I'm loving using these. They're just so pretty. I love this colour. I know, repeating myself again because I've said that time and time again, but honestly, it's such a pretty colour. So I'm going to put those there. Okay, whoops. Oh gosh, what's going on with my glue? Hang on, I'll just clean that nozzle a bit. Oh no. Now I've twisted up that piece. Right, okay. Okie dokie. That looks very pretty, doesn't it, on there like that. And then, yeah, quite like that lace at the bottom. The only thing is, just wondering, is that kind of too, you know, squared off? Would it be better if I at least pinch it in or something like that? Yeah, perhaps I'll try and pinch it as I glue it. So, oops, I don't even know if I've got that the right way up now. There we go. Like that. And then this little flower just on top. And then on top of this flower, I've got some really nice bright green pearls that I'm hoping would look really pretty. You know, again, who knows, they may look good, they may look rubbish, but that's quite nice there as well, isn't it? This is going to be another one of those things that actually looks really great everywhere. You know, a bit like the butterflies and things. I know we always say this, but there's just some items that just, they look really nice everywhere you put them. And yeah, I've got this funny feeling that those bows are going to be just one of those things, aren't they? Wondering what else I could put here if I use that. I mean, that's a bit strange because I've got like ruffles galore going on then, haven't I? But having said that, I kind of like it. Wonder if I could just cover up that blue thread with some of those pearls there a little bit much there. Wondering what else I've got. I mean, I've got that cute little bow. Could have that bow there. It's kind of quite sweet, isn't it? I mean, I don't really have to have anything else there. I don't like that because then I've got those two bows. They're in line with each other. And actually, strangely enough, the same there. But I do really like this bow here. So I'm kind of, yeah, kind of thinking that I'm going to keep that there. Let's just have a think what else I might have that could go on here. Let me pull in those, you know, dark coloured pearls to try on this flower. Because, you know, again, they might look absolutely rubbish and then, you know, I'll have to have a rethink about that as well. The other thing that I could use, I guess, are some buttons across, you know, on here as well. So, but I've got these, which I thought, oh, might be an excuse to use one of these ginormous green centres, because they're really pretty, aren't they? But I mean, of course, you know, you don't necessarily get that much opportunity to use those types of things. So wondering whether it needs something in between the flower and the pearl just to kind of break it up. Let's just try that. Oops, it's quite pretty, isn't it? It doesn't necessarily need it, I've got to say, but perhaps it would look better with a pink. I mean, that's quite nice, to be honest, as well. Oh, that's quite pretty, isn't it? Yeah, I think I quite like that. Now, do we like this green in the middle of here? I don't know why I'm pondering so much. I think it's just, it's really out there. And, you know, because we don't very often get to use things like that, it feels really kind of alien, doesn't it, to use then something like that. It's not necessarily that I don't like it, but it just feels really, whoa, what does everyone think, you know? Like, is it too out there? It might be too out there with the white. So I have, with the pink, but I have got some white flowers. So let me just grab them. Sorry, I'm very much on, off today because as I'm kind of using things, I'm then thinking of other things that I've got. So we just grab in some white flowers. Okay, hold on. Okie dokie. Because these maybe just look a bit better than the pink. Maybe that pink didn't really go that brilliantly with the green. Oops, oh gosh, come on. Yeah, that looks better, doesn't it? Right, okay. After all of that, let's just glue that flower down. Like that. Okie dokie, and then pop the white one. Like that. Okay, and then the green, oops, just on top. Okay, there we go. Yay. Okay, right. That took a long time, didn't it, to get that to come together. I couldn't quite decide kind of what I was, you know, what I was wanting there really. But yeah, looks very, very pretty now. So super pleased with how it looks now. Okay, let's go over the page. So obviously on the other side, I've got the other side of that belly band. I shouldn't have put the lumpy bits on here yet because now, of course, it's not kind of sitting flat to, you know, to make the rest of the stuff, but never mind. So again, just want to kind of incorporate something onto the, you know, the belly band itself. So let's just see what things we've got here. I've got this cute little kind of label piece as well, which is really sweet, isn't it? That's quite nice on there. Let me just bring in, I know I said this was too small over the page, but maybe it will suddenly look better on this size. On this side, I know it's the same size, but you know, sometimes things look different, don't they? I mean, that might be slightly too much mirroring going on because I've got like the trees. So yeah, maybe that's kind of a little bit of an overdose of trees there. But I don't mind, weirdly enough, those blue trees up there. You know, I know they are the same, but for some reason they don't look quite so out of balance on this side. Let's just have a look. Again, kind of thinking can use like a blue postage stamp. Oh, I've got this lovely postage stamp. Oh gosh, now look again. Find myself wanting to hoard this postage stamp. Look at this. Isn't that just so lovely? I mean, I don't know what goes on, why I suddenly find myself wanting to hoard postage stamps, but now the only thing is that looks quite yellow on there. I would prefer it looking a bit whiter, so let me see. So I'm back to these ones, which I've got loads of these, but they are slightly whiter. I think that does look a bit better. Let's just check. Oh, this one is better still, I think. Oh, I don't know actually. I think they both look okay, so let's just keep them there while we're kind of playing around and just placing things around, because we might then, you know, might decide to do something else, who knows. So right, so I'm quite liking that so far. And then we could have some blue on this page because, of course, you know, we've got quite a blue thing going on now. I mean, we could have some blue running down the edge. That's quite nice. I feel like it's a bit of a shame because actually I prefer it going underneath the belly band, but I'm pretty sure that's going to look very strange, but let's try it. I mean, that is kind of a bit strange, but let's just put it right to the edge. So that's how that would look, kind of under the belly band. I mean, that's weird, and I haven't ever done things like that before, I don't think, putting lace like underneath the belly band. But it's quite nice, actually. Let me just chop off a little bit. Again, another blue flower. Right, so this time, maybe a pink flower might be better. I know that sounds really strange, but because now we've got quite a lot of blue, sorry, on this page, I'm kind of thinking maybe the pink flower might look pretty. Yeah. It's weird, isn't it, how that kind of seems to just work out, but just seems to balance it slightly better. So I quite like how that page looks. I mean, strangely enough, I quite like that page just like that, and it's got like nothing else on there, which that's very unusual for me to like something, you know, so plain and not so, you know, overdone. But it's really pretty. I really think it looks lovely. Yeah, okay, right. I'm going to glue these couple of bits down. So we'll start by putting just this background piece down. Okie dokie. Oh, we have blue skies again now. So yeah, it was looking quite sort of cloudy earlier and not so good, but suddenly now the sun seems to be coming out. And as I've said that, a cloud's come over. I don't know whether, you know, how much you can kind of tell on the video, but literally as I said that, that's it. A big cloud came straight back over that sun. So it's actually quite, quite dim now. Okay. Just pop that down there. Like that. Okay, and then I'm going to put this flower down on that side. Like that. Right, now I'm going to just stick this down. Now I'm just wondering again whether I want to just cut that you know, what I always call the header piece. I mean, I don't know whether that's really what the name of it is, but this piece that's quite filled in, because it just feels filled in. It feels, you know, like it's got a bit of a solid, you know, uglyish kind of look compared to the rest of it. So yeah, I much prefer that. So I'm just going to glue that down here. Okie dokie. Okay, now I'm just moving this back slightly here where that belly band's going to fold. So it's kind of like, you know, overhanging here, but tucked in a little bit where the actual belly band is, because otherwise it could be, you know, that it's going to get in the way. So I'm going to put a bit of glue here. I don't think it really needs it, but just, you know, just a helping hand in case. And then obviously some glue on this side. Okay. Like that. Press those down. Okay, right, and then my postage stamp, just going to have that up there. Now you can see this is still on the, you know, the part of the, excuse me, part of the envelope, but that envelope actually was a pale blue. So it's actually worked out, you know, really quite pretty, really quite well. So I'm going to leave that on there. Now I'm just wondering, do I want it there or do I want it there? It was all going a bit too well, wasn't it, on this side? I wasn't mucking about so much. And now, of course, I'm now beginning to muck about. The other thing I've got is obviously I've got that little rosette that I didn't end up using on the card. On the card? Yeah, I think I did that for a card. So we could have that somewhere. I don't know. I mean, it does look kind of quite sweet, to be honest. It does look quite nice. Oh my gosh, look. Why did I keep that? Right, it's in the bin now. I've just clearly, that was like no point keeping that, was there? So I could have this little piece of ruffle here. I'm just going to delve into my little, you know, box beside me of my hand-stitched ruffles that we did. Funnily enough, I have got some of the hand-stitched ones in that sort of more toned-down red. So even if I can't find any more fabric to do some bigger ones, I have actually got some little hand-stitched ones if I'd, you know, if I want to use those. I'm torn. Do I want to actually add any green on here, or is it actually quite nice, you know, just being the blue and the pink with the green? I mean, it's got the green around here, but, you know, essentially just the blue and the pink. Or do we think actually it's kind of quite fun to add the green? I know this is slightly weird, but I quite like that ruffle there. I mean, if I take everything off, that's really pretty, isn't it? And it looks really, you know, really gorgeous. But when I put that on, I kind of think, oh, does that just bring it to life a little bit? I know that, you know, I'm not very good at doing more colourless kind of things. And, you know, I know that I think a lot of people prefer slightly more colourless. And, yeah, I maybe am in the minority with the liking of the bright stuff. But just sometimes it's really fun to have some bright stuff. I mean, I could do it kind of like this, where I've got that little banner and the rosette, and that way I've obviously used the rosette as well, you know, that otherwise is just sat sort of in my stash, really. That's quite nice, isn't it? Let me take it off, put it back. Oh, let's just go for that. I know that there's going to be, you know, lots of people kind of really preferring the page as it was, but I just can't help it. I really like having the odd splash of colour. Okay, that's that. And then I'm just going to just hot glue this down. Just onto there. Okay, so that looks really nice now, doesn't it? I mean, to be honest, I don't really feel like that needs an awful lot else on there. It looks, you know, really, really pretty, just exactly as it is. I probably will put something else on there because, you know me, I can't really stop. But yeah, I'm more than happy with it as it is because, I mean, don't forget, it's also going to have things inside the belly band. So, you know, it may be that that's actually kind of enough going on that page, you know, without having anything else actually on there. Oh, I love both those pages. I mean, they're both really, really different, aren't they? But they're really, really nice. Okay, so we've made a bit of a start on our Christmas journal. So let me just pop this to one side and I'll bring in another base page that I've done. So again, just cut the threads off. Now this one, obviously, as you can see, this is the blue and pink. So let's do that one so that we're doing something a bit different. Oops. Oh my goodness. Just threads hung all over me. So I'll just put that out the way and I'm just going to bring in my kind of pre-made bits and we'll just see what we've got that might look good on here. What is this? It's hard to remember even what some bits are, isn't it? When you make them and then sort of look at them later, you think, oh, I'm not sure what that is. So we've got a piece that could be like a big pocket. Oh, that's quite fun, isn't it? So let's just trim that down. So this obviously, you know, because of the stitching, this I would consider the front of the page and this I would consider, you know, the back of the page. I'm just checking that I've got the, yeah. So, I mean, this pocket, because it's quite massive, I would probably have this section where nothing's poking into, like here at the back. So it's when my holes punch through, they're punching through there as well. And I'm just looking to see whether I could have like some blue lace or anything, you know, running along the pocket maybe. And then we did make those clusters, didn't we? So, oh, I've also got this. It's kind of nice. What did I do with my clusters? Aha, here we go. I mean, this one may be quite good because this is, you know, portrait rather than landscape. So, yeah, that's quite sweet, isn't it? And then, I mean, I don't really have to have any lace on there at all, I guess, really, but I do like lace, as you know. I mean, actually, that looks really nice kind of off to the side. The thing is, that's going to then be in the way of my pocket, unless I just have a smaller opening here. But that's, yeah, a bit defeating the object probably. So I'm not sure I want to do that. Let's just have a look if we have it like this, whether I can use this bright red ruffle on the side of this page. I mean, this is going to be obviously a super bright and colourful journal. Hopefully it's going to turn out really pretty. Obviously, you can't really tell until it's done, but let's fingers crossed that it will. Okay. So again, just trimming that sort of header part off of that lace. Okay. So if that's just down the edge of there, and then, yeah, probably like that. Like that. Not sure that the red is quite right, actually. Let me just try a green. I thought the red was definitely going to be the one. Oops, but now I'm not quite so sure. Do you know, I'm going to just stick this down first, because all the time that this is not really stuck down. Actually, let me just check it's the right length. I mean, that's super weird because these are both A4 size, you know, are just regular copy paper size. But for some reason this seems longer, which is weird because I haven't trimmed those pages down. Right, let's just glue it down this way round. Nearly glued it down the wrong way. And of course, stranger things have happened after all. Just would not surprise me. Okay. It's quite fun to use different colours for Christmas actually, because, you know I said this before, I just always go straight to the, you know, the red and the green, the gold. And, you know, it's quite fun to actually kind of do something really completely different. You know, kind of takes you out of your normal thinking process, or, you know, the way of thinking normally. So, yeah, it's quite nice. Right. So I'm thinking like this. And then if we had this green. Green? Or did we prefer the red? And the other thing, let's bring in those lovely pearls again. Because they are so cute, aren't they? So, yeah. I mean, actually, we could have them. They look great everywhere, don't they, to be honest? Just one of those things that just, they're such a gorgeous colour. They just look good everywhere. Right, let's put the lace down. Like that. Okay. Oops. Kind of trying to do it a bit at a curve. Now, obviously, I have gone over the where it says Christmas. I mean, I just couldn't really odds that because, you know, to fold that pocket, of course, that's just, you know, I couldn't fit in the word Christmas, but, you know, that's okay. I'm not really too worried. So, yeah. And then I like that down there. It's going to have it here, but perhaps it's nicer here. So let's just glue these down. Oh, now I've dropped them. Oops. Oh, just get them back off the floor. Thank goodness the floor is just so clear now. I can obviously find them easily. Okay. Yeah, previously I probably would have had to cut 3 more because they would have been lost then. Lost forever under the desk. So it's awesome that now, you know, it's lovely and clear and I can just see at a glance when I've dropped something. Okay. I still can't decide. I'm going to stand up and look down on this with the green and with the red. And then maybe that will kind of, you know, spur me on and I will make a decision. So that's the green, which I really, really like. And then that's the red, which I also really, really like. Oops. I think the red. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for the red. I don't know why that took such a long time of deliberating, but for some reason it just, I couldn't quite decide. Right, this has got a lot of threads hanging off of this, so I'm just going to trim it off slightly. Oh gosh, all sorts of stuff hanging off of me now. I'm just constantly covered in stuff. Constantly covered in stuff. Oh gosh, come on. Right, Oh, get them off. Okay, and again, just go down that edge with the glue. Like that. Okay. Oops. Okay, right. Pop that down. Oh gosh, what's going on at this end? Sometimes just helps to have some hot glue, really, because it's just so instant and it just saves you, you know, mucking about or anything. It's, you know, it's done then, you know, it's just glued down. Right, cut this end off now. Now I've got those blue bits hanging off, which I was going to leave, but actually I think they look really peculiar. So yeah, let's cut those off. I don't know why, I just thought, oh, they might look good to leave them. You know, trying out new stuff. But yeah, they looked really odd, didn't they? And still, I'm still wondering, do they look okay? No, they didn't look okay. Chop them off, chop them off. Right, okay. And then my cluster, we're just going to have here, like that. Now, do we want any doily or anything like that behind there? Probably not, but let's just check. Because there's nothing worse than sticking it down and then thinking, oh, you know, would that have looked good? So if in doubt, try it out. Oh my goodness me. My tearing skills had seen better days, haven't they? Just try it like this. Yeah, let's have a little bit of doily on there. Don't know really whether it's kind of necessary, but okay, just go for a smaller piece, I think. Maybe that way round, like that. Okie dokie. Oops, wonder whether I should move this down slightly. Seemed a bit high, so there we go. And then again, I'm just going to glue this down. So this is that one that I did that sort of ruffle effect with the lace. So I just want to go really over all of that with the glue, so as it just glues everything down really nicely. Okay, and then just again press that down. Okie dokie. Right, we are making lots of progress now because we've done three pages, which is awesome. I mean, obviously it's helping because my, you know, my pieces are ready made, but that's great, isn't it? I quite like that bow on there. Just brings another something to the party, doesn't it? So let's just pop that there. And I don't even care that it's got the legs going kind of like, you know, in two different ways, because actually it looks kind of cute like that, doesn't it? Just like it's just landed on there somehow. So yeah, I really like that. So I'm just going to run some hot glue under here to make sure that that's nicely glued down. The only reason I say that is because obviously when I put the fabric tack on, sometimes then what happens when you glue a ruffle on, you know, it might be that this side is glued down, but not so much on the other side, if you see what I mean. So it's quite good practice, I think, to just, you know, run a bit of extra glue down, because just, you know, you want it to be properly attached, don't you? You don't want it sort of, I mean, it's not going to flap around, obviously, but you know, you like it to be properly glued, don't you, and not be worrying about it at all. So yeah, So that's the third page done. So let's have a look and a bit of a recap at the ones that we have done. So we started obviously with this one. Then we did this one. And now we've done this one. So it's coming together quite well actually. So yeah, quite pleased with the progress that we've made. And yeah, I don't know whether I will be back to do any more of this online. Like I said before, you know, I need to just kind of crack on with this a little bit. But you know, we'll just kind of see how it goes. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me, and hopefully see you guys again soon. You know, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and maybe subscribe to my channel. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thanks then. Bye.